Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Greer Industries, improving people's lives for more than a century.
Meteorologist Joe Ansel with you here. I do have an update to talk about regarding today's severe thunderstorm potential. Cold front coming in today, and we have been upgraded to a marginal to slight risk of severe storms now. Marginal to slight, that means isolated to scattered severe weather is possible. If you're in that yellow, scattered best potential for damaging winds today, but some large hail can't be ruled out as well, with along some heavy and excessive rain potential too. This graphic showing the next 5 days, total precipitation for the next 5, that's like 1 to 2 plus inches of rain. I will also be watching for locally higher amounts in the days ahead, and also all the way through the 7-day forecast, likely chances of rain, so we could tally up some pretty high rainfall totals potentially. Remember, turn around, don't drown if any flash flooding ever pops up around the state. High of 89 yesterday in Charleston, well warmer than average, missed the record. Average high is 77, and no rain yesterday. That will potentially change today, timing multiple rounds of showers and storms, one in the morning, then one later in the afternoon through tonight. There is also still that marginal risk of excessive rain today and tonight for local flash flooding. 5 Sierra forecast, it starts at home. New York City, another day in a row with a heat advisory. Washington, D.C., forecasting potentially record heat near 97. To the north, stronger severe storms possible. Highs in the upper 70s, lows around 50 tonight. Still some heat concerns out east, some low to mid 90s for highs in the forecast potentially, in the 50s tonight. From east to west, still well warmer than average, watching for that potential of isolated to scattered severe storms today and this evening. And in southern areas too, be weather aware of heavy rain, storms, and warmer than average temps, lows around the 50s tonight. Still some off and on chances for showers and storms, warm front for the weekend, chance of showers and storms for Memorial Day, high near 82.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen. Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Hour number 3 of Metro News Midday is here. No Amanda Barron, no Dave Allen. It's Daniel Woods here with you up until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And we've got a whole lot of good stuff going on here. No Amanda Barron, no. And let's set the scene for what's coming up this hour. We've got the Run for the Wall that is about to make its way through West Virginia. We've talked to you about this here on Metro News Midday a few times over the last week. Joe Stevens with the City of Nitro is going to join us here in just a moment at the top of the hour. Todd Taylor is the West Virginia State Coordinator for the Run to the Wall. He'll join us here in just a few minutes. He's going to be riding into Nitro here this evening. And then it's a busy week at Marshall University. Marshall's Community Cares Week is going on. Mistie Bibbee, the Director of Housing and Residence Life at Marshall, is going to join us at the bottom of the hour. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on across the state of West Virginia. And I want to hear from you, too. That text line is open, 304-TALK 304. That's 304-TALK 304 here on Metro News Midday. And we're introducing the all-new Metro News television weather. Metro News meteorologist Brian Hughes is on the radio, and his team of meteorologists are on all your connected screens, giving you the latest weather updates. Join us for our new venture, Metro News television weather, available exclusively on Metro News Television. Download it today. And I mentioned we've got Joe Stevens from the City of Nitro. It's a very busy day for one Joe Stevens in the City of Nitro. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to join me this afternoon.
Hey, anything for Todd Taylor. I mean, we're just rolling out the red carpet on 2nd Avenue. Him and his 299 closest friends will be rolling in here about 5:15, Daniel.
Well, we're really excited for the Run for the Wall to make its way back through the Kanawha Valley. Anybody that has been around Nitro knows how much the City of Nitro loves its veterans. What's the response been like again from the city to see these motorcycle riders on their way through, making their way to Washington, D.C. For Memorial Day weekend?
Daniel, they'll be lined up all the way from the interstate to the 19th Street, lined up on Route 25, First Avenue, waving their flags, being very patriotic, and just waving the motorcyclists as they venture on down, come up 19th Street, and then park right there on 2nd Avenue in front of Living Memorial Park at City Hall. And right now, we've already got some folks from the Veterans Assistance of West Virginia. We've got the Vietnam veterans here. We got the VFW from St. Albans is here. They're already set up. Not only is this, we are providing a stop for them, but if any veterans are in the area and need some information, we've got some information booths. But again, we're rolling out the red carpet for all of them. They're coming in from Kentucky right now. We expect them to be coming in to Nitro about 5:15 or so, Daniel.
And for those that haven't been listening to our conversations, Dave Allen's conversations with Todd Taylor, going back over the last week or so, Run for the Wall goes back to the 1980s, and there are about 1,000 motorcyclists making their way from Ontario, California to Washington, D.C., to eventually end up at Arlington National Cemetery at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier for a wreath laying on Saturday. They travel in 3 different groups, and about 300 motorcyclists are going to be arriving in Nitro, like Joe said there, right around 5:15. So, Joe, this is something that has seemingly grown year after year, really across the country. But for the City of Nitro, what does it mean for a community that cares so much about veterans, for it to be a spot on the map that the riders know that they can come to every year and get this kind of support?
Daniel, it's just our way of saying thanks. They don't hear it enough. They don't get enough thank yous. We appreciate what they've done, what they're doing. There are riders in there that have already served. There are riders that are currently serving, and there are riders who have family who have lost family members in the service, and they're riding in their honor. So it's just our way of saying thanks. And when they come in, they will come in, and there's a small ceremony after they dismount from their motorcycles and catch their breath and drink a little bit of water. There's a ceremony, and then they'll head over. We've got a meal for them in the Methodist Church here right next to City Hall and the fire department. And then they will be off and staying in the various lodging facilities throughout the Kanawha Metro Valley area. And then they'll be grouping back up tomorrow morning. They'll probably be starting to roll in and line up at 5:30 in the morning. We start breakfast for them. And by the way, we've got a West Virginia tradition for them for breakfast tomorrow morning. And it was a request from Todd Taylor. He had a request from a bunch of the riders and everything. Tudor's is serving breakfast tomorrow. Bacon and egg biscuits, sausage and egg biscuits, and some good Tudor's biscuit gravy. They will be being shoved off about 8 o'clock with a good Tudor's breakfast in their stomachs.
That's certainly going to stick to their ribs and get them where they need to go. Going to be headed to the Capitol before leaving West Virginia, headed to Greenbrier County as well. One thing that I did want to bring up is something that these riders are going to have the opportunity to get to see in Nitro is the Nitro Vietnam Memorial Wall, the Nitro Wars Museum. What is it like to see these guys come into Nitro and just see the way that tribute is paid at those places?
It's amazing to see. Some of them go right to the wall, look for the names. It's the West Virginia Vietnam Memorial. It's all of the names of the West Virginians who were killed in action in the Vietnam War. They are listed on the wall. There's a lot of them that come in and really look at names to see if there are any of their compatriots from years gone by. And then there's some to really have to step back and they have a hard time without some help from other soldiers and some other riders to help them go in and see the wall. But Yeah, we'll have the museum open until about 7:30 tonight. It's not only the Vietnam War and the various, but it's the various wars, and they really find it interesting. And then they also find the history of nitro and how it was formed. And at one time, Daniel, there was 100,000 people working on a explosive plant C to get it going, so to produce gunpowder for the World War I military effort. So it's a lot of history to be seen, and a lot of them stop by and check it out.
Joe Stevens from the City of Nitro joining me. We're getting ready for the Run for the Wall to make its way through the Kanawha Valley, through West Virginia over the next couple of days. 300 motorcyclists set to arrive in Nitro around 5:15 this evening. Joe, for anybody that is listening right now, wants to make the trip out to Nitro, still got about 3 hours until you're expecting that crew to arrive. So for folks that want to make their way out to Nitro, what do they need to know? Where do they need to go? And what can they expect?
May I recommend finding a spot in one of the restaurants, one of the businesses along Route 25, which is the First Avenue. They will be getting off of exit 45 in Nitro and heading down through town along Route 25. That's the best place to see them, to wave to them, and show them that you care.
Well, Joe, I really appreciate the time. We got Todd Taylor coming up here in just a few minutes to give us a look at how the ride is going. I know it's been a busy afternoon for you, but I know that these are also the kind of events that you and the whole city of Nitro loves.
It keeps us young, man. It keeps us young, and you make sure Todd has a safe ride in, and the rest of his compadres.
Absolutely, I will. Last I heard, they had stopped off in Mount Sterling, Kentucky for a lunch break, so we'll see if they're back on the road when I get to talk to them.
Daniel, appreciate the time, and, it's just a way to say thank you, and that's the biggest thing that we try to convey while we do this here in Nitro.
Absolutely, Joe. Thanks for everything you do, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Daniel.
There he is, Joe Stevens with the City of Nitro. Again, the Run for the Wall is making its way through West Virginia this evening, stopping off in the City of Nitro. 300 motorcycle riders arriving around 5:15 this evening at Nitro Living Memorial Park. There will be a presentation. There will be opportunities to see the West Virginia Vietnam Memorial Wall at the Nitro Wars Museum. And again, the Run for the Wall going from Ontario, California, where they started last week, all the way to Washington, D.C. For this Memorial Day weekend. There will be a wreath laying at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier coming up on Saturday. So that's the Nitro perspective on the Run for the Wall, what they're going to be doing this evening. The riders, they are on their way about 3 hours out from their arrival in Nitro. Todd Taylor is the West Virginia State Coordinator for the Run for the Wall. He'll join us when we return. It's Metro News Midday.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Nasal obstruction, stuffiness, block.